Let's talk about the arrest of Prince Andrew today, and how this is a Masonic script, and that King Charles might abdicate or he might die. If he doesn't abdicate, then he will probably be taken out. And this is all about William becoming king. He's the Masonic messianic figure, and all these events are about him becoming king at the right time. And I think it's timed with the planetary alignment, which is on February the 28th. The third planetary alignment we've had in 6 years. And also the blood moon eclipse, which is on the 3rd of March, 33 of Freemasonry. And we also have the flare star called Corona T Borealis in the constellation of Corona. Around every 80 years it flares and is visible in the crown of the constellation Corona. Corona, crown bug. And the crown bug was remedied by the William Shakespeare, and the first man to get it was called William Shakespeare. You are watching a Shakespearean script. Remember, it was the Rosicrucians that created Freemasonry, and they created Shakespeare, and they created America. And Shakespeare had a hyphen in it. Shake the spear of ignorance. So they believe in duality, and so you have the Shakespeare, the SS, the duality, the twins. You always have the twins in these stories. And the first man to get it was called William Shakespeare. The Tsar Zahawi was MP for Shakespeare, Stratford-upon-Avon. And the father of the Shakespeare is Donald Trump, who is based on Julius Caesar, a play that Shakespeare wrote. And Donald Trump got shot in the ear on the birthday of Julius Caesar. And America is based on ancient Rome, the Republic. He wants to change it into a dictatorship, into an empire. So we have Andrew arrested. AA, okay, in all the headlines, showing you it's Freemasonry, Apollo and Artemis, AA11, the twins. Now, when Nadim Zahawi, MP for Shakespeare, defected to reform, he was asked this question: did the William Shakespeare cause the cancer of King Charles? Which he refused to answer. And of course, this links with William becoming king and the famous play Macbeth, which has 3 witches, the 3, which is one of the most important symbols in Freemasonry. It represents Isis, a synthesis of the duality. Creates a pyramid, creates enlightenment in man's pineal gland. And the writer of The Witches, which then inspired Macbeth, and was one of the secret writers of Macbeth, was a man called Thomas Middleton, who seems to be related to Kate Middleton, the wife of William, who was born on the summer solstice from Diana, who all her memorials are dedicated to Isis, and he was born of caesarean birth, Macbeth. Macbeth gets killed by a man who's torn from the womb. He's killed by a man not born of the womb, caesarean. And we have this cancer, which Charles has, and we also have this abdication. This is all being set up for William to become king.
Mountbatten, Windsor, the brother of the king, the uncle of the future king.
Andrew arrested, AA11, Freemasonry.
Has been arrested for misconduct in public office at the King's Sandringham estate.
So, again, this connects Andrew to the king. King Charles will either die or he will abdicate very soon. And why is this important? Because I believe that the La Palma tsunami will happen just before William is king.
In the past 2 hours, the British royal family is now plunged into its biggest crisis since the abdication, with very real fears that King Charles may have to give up the throne and pass the shepherdship of the British royal family to his son, Prince William. This is an extraordinary, unprecedented and historic development. And remember, this is just the start. One of 7 police inquiries.
So, AA, Andrew, arrested, is part of 7, the G of Freemasonry, inquiries. They arrested him aged 66, and they sent 6 police cars to arrest him, 666. And then 3 police cars went home. 6 police cars, 33 Freemasonry. This is all a Masonic script. And what's going to happen is that you're going to have the death of Charles, you're going to have William as king, you're going to have a tsunami caused by La Palma, and then we'll be at war with China. And they're going to say that all this Epstein stuff comes from China, how China has infiltrated the West. And then we'll be at war with them as China invades Taiwan. It is all a script. So we have here Prince Andrew, 66th birthday, 6 unmarked police cars, 666. And then 3 cars went back. So you have the 33 of Freemasonry. 6 police cars, 33 of Freemasonry. AA, Andrew arrested. 7 police inquiries. The 7 is the G of Freemasonry. The six-sided star is the duality, and in the middle you have a 7, which is the G, which is the 7th chakra, your keta, your crown, the crown bug. These events are all a script. And if we look at Prince Andrew, we will notice that Prince Andrew is not the son of Philip, Prince Philip. Andrew was actually the son of this man called Lord Porchester, who looked after the Queen's horses. And this was the true love of her life, Queen Elizabeth. It wasn't Philip, that was an arranged marriage. They have arranged marriages. These marriages are arranged by these secret societies. And the royals are under mind control, and they sell their souls for worldly power to take part in this script. And so this is his real father, Lord Porchester. And that was the Queen's real love. And this is why Prince Andrew was the Queen's favourite son. Now we're getting closer to Heliofant and I Bet Goat 2 coming true. We had the yin yang. Remember, Trump invaded Venezuela on the 3rd of January, a month established by Julius Caesar. On the 3rd of January. Earth closest to the sun, and you had the moon closest to the earth. The sun and the moon, 3-3. 33 Freemasonry, and you had a full moon, a full super moon, the largest full moon of the year. Then we've had the Super Bowl. We had Lady Gaga saying that the world was going to end, dressed up like Madonna and dressed like this girl here, Alice in Wonderland. Bad Bunny was the rabbit. Follow the Right Rabbit. This is about mind control. And opium. And Lewis Carroll, whose initials we see here on the floor, on the duality Masonic floor, was part of a ring which involved the British Prime Minister, showing you that they control all sides and they control royalty. And here we have in April, guy with moustache, who is doing the Trump pose. Trump is new guy with moustache. Then we have, on February the 28th, the last major planetary alignment, the third one, the 3 of Freemasonry. And then we have, on March 3rd, the lunar blood moon eclipse, 3-3. It seems that he will invade Greenland around that time. Or could it be that La Palma happens at that time? And we have here, guy with moustache. Guy with moustache, his death was announced on May Day. Bin Laden, death announced on May Day, and he was buried at sea. Now she rolls the apple, and at the bottom of the apple is La Palma, spotted by this channel. So underneath the apple, you have La Palma, which is nicknamed La Isla Bonita, Madonna, the Virgin, Isis. There. On the bottom of the apple is La Palma, here, shaped like La Palma, here. There. There's La Palma, shaped like a heart. And then it goes to Lewis Carroll, we have the crown. Charles. Charles is about to abdicate, or die. And then we have, out of the duality, you get a synthesis, and you get a trinity, and you get new life, the new age. And you have the Christ consciousness figure, 33 of Freemasonry, with his third eye released at the end of the film. And you have the collapse of the Great Pyramid. And remember, we have an eclipse. We have a total solar eclipse in 2027 over the Great Pyramid. So this all seems to be timed to that event. And then we have new life. And then we have what looks like the end of America. And here we have on the writings the Psalm 23, looks like La Palma. You have a tidal wave. You have the end of the United States. Remember, this is the anniversary of the creation of the United States. We have the Twin Towers falling. Out of it you get a synthesis. Remember, you have the Twin Towers and then you have the Lone Tower. In front of the Twin Towers you had the Statue of Liberty, which is Isis. And Diana's Pont de Alma memorial is directly cast from the Statue of Liberty. Isis. The Washington Monument is an obelisk, which is connected to Isis. And the Washingtons and the Spencers, Diana's family, who are Rosicrucians, are directly related. They are the same family. So we get the destruction, and then we get the synthesis. The lower self is expelled, and we come to Bin Laden. And this is a very important part, because he seems to be standing on Greenland. And behind him is the blood moon lunar eclipse. We also have the crescent moon. Now you will notice that we are in Ramadan, which starts based on a crescent moon. So this Ramadan has started early, and we have a meteor on his beard, again spotted on this channel first. So it looks like there could be some kind of invasion of Greenland on the blood moon. And you can cross-check predictive programming, because in the 2017 edition of The Economist, which was made 300 years after the creation of Freemasonry on Midsummer's Night Dream, Shakespeare on the 24th of June, we have this anniversary edition, and we have the planetary alignments. And the second planetary alignment was actually on the 24th of June. This third one, which is on the 28th of February, is the last major one, the third one. We have a split in America. Trump is king. he seems to be sitting on Greenland. We have these waves coming towards America. We have the collapse of the tower. We have the thesis of Martin Luther. If you squint your eyes, this looks like a volcano with water coming from the sides. We had the reconciliation with Charles and the Pope, Pope Leo. And Martin Luther sent his letter to a Pope called Pope Leo. And we have this reconciliation first time since Henry VIII, H888. The last Pope died aged 88 on the anniversary creation date by Romulus and Remus, the twins of ancient Rome. And they were brought up by a she-wolf, which is Canis, which is Isis, the dog star. Showing that historical events are based on this alchemical ritual, which is what we are seeing today with the crown bug and with William becoming king. Bright comets in April. And remember, we had the comet Third Eye Atlas, your third eye. And the third eye is about enlightenment. They are revealing all the cards to us, to the public, with the Epstein files. Here we have Epstein Island, and we have what looks like the Al-Aqsa Mosque on Epstein Island. It's surrounded with palm trees. The Temple of Solomon was decorated with palm trees. The Twin Towers were likely palm trees. The palm tree has a spear in the middle. It creates new life. A Shakespeare. You shake a spear to get the dates from the palm. You shake a stick to get the dates from the palm. Al-Aqsa, the Temple Mount, means palm tree. La Palma. October 7th was called the Nova Festival. Corona Borealis. Corona T Borealis. Champagne Supernova. Oasis. Palm trees in an oasis. And this all has to do with the Temple Mount. And if you go by Page 2, it looks like the Al-Aqsa Mosque will be destroyed. And after this, there'll be some kind of new age. They want to create this new age. And so they're trying to convince people we are in the end times. So if we look at the Epstein building, we have palm trees everywhere and the rising sun of Freemasonry. It is all connected to the Temple of Solomon, and they have these duality names. And if we look at P Diddy and the Notorious B.I.G. in their video, Hypnotise, Mind Control, John D, Shakespeare, Midsummer's Night Dream, Alice in Wonderland. Now the boat has the stripes of that temple from Epstein Island, and they're escaping from the authorities. And the boat is called Tempest, which is a play by Shakespeare. And the central character of that play is John Dee as Prospero, who casts spells and is the creator of the British Empire. And the island he's on is a symbol of Britain, and he brings about a storm to continue its survival. A storm is coming. Trump, the Tempest, John Dee, 007, that was his secret number. The 2012 Olympics with the Crown Bug, which was based on William Shakespeare, and Paradise Lost, John Milton, Pandemonium. They want to create a new golden age, and here we have Notorious B.I.G. with his Masonic ring and Puff Daddy here, and they're in the temple of Epstein Island, that golden dome, the golden dome of Al-Aqsa, and they're part of the Epstein files. So this is the famous photo of P Diddy with Justin Bieber, and we'll see it has a palm, showing you that this is the Temple of Solomon. Freemasonry, the Rose Cross are behind all these events, and they are going to create this new age. Thank you.